Every time in the life of a country, there are different challenges. The challenges that was there in 2008 were different from the challenges in 2012. And the 2012 challenges were different from 2016. And 2016 different from 2020. Likewise now. Now, don't pretend as if those are the only things we spoke about. We told the people of Ghana that we are going to elevate the health sector, especially their emergency services. We have delivered. We told the people of Ghana that we're going to ensure that we give everybody access to quality education, especially at the secondary school level. We have delivered. We told the people of Ghana that we're going to construct their roads and make sure that we create access to move their goods up and down. We have delivered. We told the people of Ghana that we're going to ensure that we enhance the railway sector. We have delivered. We told the people of Ghana that we're going to partner with private sector to set up factories across districts in this country. We have delivered. 321 of them. 160 of them are operational. Others are ongoing. So there are several things that it is that we said we'll do that we've been able to do. Between 2017 and 2020, the things we promised the people of Ghana in 2016, largely we achieved. Have you seen the economic indicators between 2019 and 2020? Fantastic. We moved inflation from 15% 2016 to a single-digit 8%. So don't pretend as if what we said in 2016, we didn't do it. We did. Then we encountered a challenge. A challenge that is not entirely dependent on Ghana. And I'll ask you a simple question. I'm not the host, but answer me in sincerity.
Unfortunately, I won't answer this question.
Is it true? No, you don't know the question. So
I won't even answer the question.
Is it true that the world encountered a global pandemic in 2020? Is it true? Is it true? No, but it's a simple yes or no. Why are you being invasive? No, is it true? It's a yes or no.
No, I can't.
Why are you being invasive? Why not?
Answer.
Is it true? I haven't said anything else. I'm asking you a simple question.
No.
Did we encounter a pandemic?
We did.
Awesome.
COVID-19.
Is it true that UK in 2022, within 6 months, between March and November, changed their prime ministers twice or 3 times because of economic difficulties? Is it true that the United States has seen an all-time 40-year inflation like never before? 3 days ago or 4 days ago, when there was a debate between Donald Trump and Biden, when they were on stage, you heard Biden say, listen, price of goods are high because of COVID and Russia-Ukraine war. Is Russia and Ukraine in America? Was COVID in America alone? But they felt it. Nigeria is in turmoil. They are struggling. They felt it. Every single country, somewhere in 2022, 2023, Turkey, where we import a lot of things. In fact, these chairs that we are sitting on are likely coming from Turkey. Turkey had 80% inflation. So the fact is that
it's
between
okay 20,
who has said that? The fact is that between 2020 and now, all countries have been busy trying to recover from a global economic disruption, and Ghana hasn't been an exception. The difference between this government and governments in the past is that because we acknowledge these difficulties, government has found ways to ensure that we try to meet up the Ghanaian at certain times, not all times. Go and check how much a teacher was being paid in 2016 and check how much a teacher is being paid now. You realize that inflation might have gone high, but see the rate of increase in their income. Go and see how much a typical fresh doctor was earning first year in 2016.
So if I
go and check how much.
Right.
So the point is that there are difficulties, there are challenges, but we have a government that is committed to work with the people to get us out of the challenges and difficulties. It means that you should knock the government out and go and bring an abysmal, incompetent government simply because you've encountered 1 or 2 challenges. How about the ones that he has done?
So if I get you right, all the problems we're facing as a country as a result of COVID-19...
Who has said that?
Including
Why are you using
illegal mining.
Why are you using all?
Including
Why are you using
mining.
all? Why are you putting words in my mouth? You don't want to answer questions. But I want to put have you heard me say all?
Okay.
No, admit. Have I said all?
Explain.
So ask me another question, but don't say all. You didn't hear me right.
Okay.
Because I never said all.
Give us clarity.
So raise another issue.
Give us clarity.
No, but I haven't said all. So I don't know what you're talking about. So raise another issue.
Clarity.
On what?
Right now, you said that
COVID is the reason why our macroeconomic indicators went haywire. That is fact. Russia-Ukraine war is one of the reasons why our macroeconomic indicators went haywire. That is fact. And let me explain to you. We import a lot of things from Asia and Turkey and Brazil, Vietnam, including Russia and Ukraine. When COVID came, Asia shut down. Europe shut down. Those who were even producing were producing at 50%. So let me show you how it impacted us. When you go and buy the things you bring to Ghana, the thing that you used to buy at $10, You go to China and they tell you that, well, we are not producing much, so we don't have much. Now, it is now $20. What it means is that you used to bring this thing to Ghana at $10 to sell at $12. You can no longer do that because you are going to buy it at $20. So when you bring it to Ghana, you have to sell it $20 plus your profit. That is impact. That is inflation. Do you agree? You said I should explain to you.
Make your point.
No, but do you agree? But
no,
why don't you want to respond to that one? Because it is fact. Number two, Russia and Ukraine war is not in Ghana. But you see, we buy rice from Vietnam, we buy rice from Brazil. Brazil and Vietnam buy most of their nitrates that they use for fertilizer to plant the rice that we go and buy from Russia. And because of the international bans and all of that in Russia, they are now getting it at either exorbitant prices or they are not getting it at all. So it's raising the cost of buying rice from Vietnam and Brazil. So ladies and gentlemen, the bomb is not in Ghana, but any economist that is being objective will tell you that that is how it impacts on us. Turkey experienced 80% inflation somewhere in 2022. What it means is that this chair that we go and buy from Turkey at, let's say, $100 will no longer be $100 by what? 180, because it's grown by 80%. So when you bring it to Ghana, you can no longer sell this chair at $120 like you used to sell it. You must sell it at $200. So you see, we have only imported the inflation from Turkey. That is why this government said that, listen, we need to build our industrial base. And that is why if you're going to look at the industrial base scorecard between the NPP and the NDC, we are ahead of them. They did just about 5. We have done 321. In fact, let me put it on record, and you like facts, so I'll give you facts. The NDC is asking us to vote against the government that has worked with private sector to bring 300 factories up. And vote for them who sold 300 of our factories. 300 of Ghanaian-owned factories. Not Ghanaian-owned factories, state factories. Do you know that Gasem belonged to the people of Ghana? It used to be a state-owned factory. Do you know that we used to assemble VW vehicles in Ghana? Do you know that we used to produce glass and there was a Bosso glass factory in Ghana? Are you aware that we even import a lot of matches? And yes, we used to have Kade Match Company in Ghana. Between 1988 and 1993, their ancestors, PNDC, sold 60 of state-owned factories. Now, between 1993 and 2001, their descendants, the NDC, sold over 300 of state-owned factories to themselves, their cronies, like tomatoes, like chupa chops. So wait. So now you are asking us to vote against the government that is working to build factories and has come up with close to 300 factories. Vote against them and vote for you, who sold not just private ones that are collapsing, but even state ones. Indeed, they even went on to seize privately owned factories. Boagye Mattress and Co. They collapsed them. Go to Makola, go to Okaishi. People's grandmothers were lashed on the street. Their shops were seized and their goods were seized. That is the party that is asking us to vote against the one that is building industries and vote for them to come to office.
I'll take you back a bit because
I'll go.
You made mention of state capture and selling of state-owned properties. Not all MP Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa has been raising concerns about Senate's sale of 4 hotels, 60% stake in these 4 hotels, to Brian Champon, who is the Agric Minister, member of the NPP. When should your party come into power? Would you address these issues?
Which issue?
Of continuous sale of state property to
which states?
individuals who are aligned to the party?
It is extremely hypocritical. In fact, I don't pay attention to that conversation simply because the last person to speak about state capture is the NDC, let alone Okudzeto Ablakwa. What is his business? What is his moral right? The guys who sold 300 of our factories are saying that all of a sudden they love Ghana more than everybody. Is that what they are saying? All of a sudden they love Ghana more than everybody. They sold 300. They sold to themselves. Ghana Film Company, today it's TV3. They sold it and went to buy it. Now they own it. They sold it to a third party, went behind and went to buy it. Now they own it. Okudzeto Ablakwa should go and take TV3 back for us first before he says anything else.
Finally, as we wrap up on the show, what's your message to Ghanaians as we await the official announcement of Dr. Matthew Poku Pempe as the running mate to Dr. Bawumia?
Just as the flag bearer, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has been telling the people, 2 things. We must protect what we have achieved. It's not everything. There is so much left to be done. But let's protect what we have achieved. And let's pay critical attention to the propositions he's making for every sector. He's mentioned the Mineral Development Bank, which is an idea that he believes would support the small-scale miners to own the concessions rather than the current situation where The land is ours, and yet we have just 5% interest for the Ghanaian person, and the rest is foreign. What is the foreigners bringing? Money. So let's give them the Minerals Development Bank to back them so they can own it, mine the minerals, wholly Ghanaian owned. Then we can buy in cedis and use it to back our currency to strengthen it. That is one of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's way of going into the future, building the strength of our currency. And you know, Ghana, 90% of our economic woes is the currency. Once we fix the currency situation, a lot of the issues will be dealt with. So that's a major proposition, the Mineral Development Bank that he wants to use. Whilst at it, he believes that we must continue to build the industrial base. Don't forget, there's a deep hole. We had 300. By now, if the 300 were there, we would have had 621 based on what we've done. But we have to now go and fill the hole the NDC created. They sold the factories and turned them into churches and warehouses and what have you. So we still need to finish that industrial building so that it will reduce our dependence on imports. But whilst at it, we need to still find a way to loosen up the stress on the importers and on our people. So he says he's bringing radical tax reforms, which will ensure convenience in tax assessment, convenience in tax payment, and also reduction in the taxes. He proposes that we bring our port duties down to the level of at least Togo or even lower than them, so our ports can be more competitive to receive more volumes and increase our revenue. He also proposes a flat rate tax regime for our spare parts dealers, so that at least once they are getting a flat rate, they can plan very well and know how much they need to bring and also increase the volumes that they could also bring. Then they can also let it have a positive impact on the buyers. He speaks of the 1 million youth that he intends to train in software, IT, and other coding programs to open them up to the global job opportunities that are available. Today, you know, India exports millions of people. There are call centers here in Ghana that are based in India. You are aware of that. You call, somebody is speaking, but the person is India. You go to the UK, the US, their call centers have been outsourced and the people are in India. That's what Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is preaching. Why is he able to do that? He cannot do that because of all the digital base that he has created. That's why I said that every situation and every time are not the same. Today, we have a much more digitized society, which didn't used to be there. And that is the reason why he can move on to introduce some of these things. Today, our children in secondary schools are receiving tablets, something that didn't used to be there. And that is why he can introduce some of these things. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia says that our friends and brothers who are persons with disability, they should be able to go to tertiary institutions for free. They should go for free. And then don't forget, he's already removed the guarantor system from the student loan trust at the university. So you go to basic school for free. He has given you free senior high school. You go to the university, if you are poor, you don't worry. You just take your Ghana card, you get a loan to pay your fees, and you are in school. Guess what? When you graduate, and you come from Seshiri or so, or Jine, and you get a job opportunity at Multimedia, don't worry, don't fret. Don't think how you are going to live and how you are going to move, because rent in Accra is expensive. You don't have the money. He says that there is rent assistance scheme for you, the young person. When you graduate, don't bother about necessarily how you survive to be able to come and work at Multimedia. Go to the rent assistance scheme secretariat, get rent support, go and rent your new room and be able to come to work at Multimedia. There's a complete value chain system that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is putting in place for this country. And every sector, he has a tailor-made solution for where we are at the moment and the next chapter of this country's development.
Thank you, Miracles Aboagye.
Thank you very much for having me.
Director of Communication for Dr. Bawumia campaign team. We'll be looking forward to the official outdooring of that poll. That Absolutely. Is if he's approved by the National Council.
Yes.